This is fascinating. They say styles make fights, huh? Well, Shannon Sharpe going to break down debating Skip Bayless versus debating Stephen A. Smith. Blah, blah, blah.
Debating with Skip versus debating Stephen A. When I debated Skip on Undisputed, it was a real debate show. It's me versus him. Sometimes he's the defense, I'm the prosecution. Sometimes he's the prosecution. I'm the defense, he's the prosecution. And I'm literally trying to win. I'm building my case to beat him. And if I can't beat him, I'm going to punch holes in his argument and then have his fall flat. Stephen A. is more conversational. It's not, I'm trying to beat Stephen A. I'm not trying to beat them guys. When I throw a fact in, it's like, okay, boom. But it's...
by format alone, like... Octagon different than the ring, right? And then this one different than WWE, because it seemed like when you were going against Stephen A. Smith, there were others in that ring as well. What do they call those? Rumbles in the jungles and stuff, all that? I don't know. WrestleMania 49. It was just a lot of people in there in the conversation, so it never was that mano-a-mano. And even though they would have guests on Undisputed, you knew Skip was there, you knew Shannon was there, and you knew the fireworks were going to fly. Just that simple. So that's what Skip Bayless wants. Like, I think Skip Bayless really wanted to, itty-bitty it. Whoa, say, happy birthday, baby. She turns 6 today. Hi, baby. Woo. And we going to school. Looking like Dionne Warwick.
Yeah, those real people.
Yeah, those are real people.
On there?
Yes, on there. But it's virtual.
Why are they just staring?
Because we're staring at them too. I have it on pause. So can you give me a pause break? Can you give me the biggest kiss ever? And then you got to go upstairs. I'm glad you have on your dress. I'm going to put a ponytail on so that doesn't get caught. Deal? Yeah. Happy birthday.
You do it now.
No, Daddy's working right now, but I'll do it after. Deal? Ooh, she got on red leggings too. Ooh, that girl like a Supreme. She fresh. Oh, man. So I don't know where I was. It's my baby. Itty bitty time. Keep it going.
It was totally different because at first take, it really wasn't the debate. It was more of a conversation. Ocho, what do you think about this? Joe, what do you think about this? Shannon, what do you think about this? Stephen A. With Skip, I'm planting my flag right here, and I'm not moving off this.
Yeah, we saw that. I mean, look, that show was insane. Like, let's just be real. They went at it. And then the antics, and then, you can say what you want about Unc, the whole Unc caricature, and then he took it to the Black and Miles and the do-rag and the yak, and just, like, it was insane. I remember walking in the building. I never saw those guys, even though I knew them. I never saw those guys because of the schedule. I was later. They were earlier. And no lie, the energy in the building was better because it's just like you felt like greatness already started the day off. Like, they had that thing rocking. And planting that flag is exactly how they went into it, and that's exactly how they got out of it. They planted that flag, and then all of a sudden, nobody would budge.
And now you build your case, you build your argument to support what you're saying. So, and that's when you learn is that you never bring something into the argument that doesn't help your case. If you bring it in, it better help your case, because if it doesn't, all you've done is strengthen his argument.
Mm-hmm. Lean and mean, right? Skip is, the aficionado in terms of the debate, because he basically created it. Somebody else probably was going at it before. Jim Rome was doing a monologue, like he was debating the world. It's like Jim Rome is burning was him talking to the world. And you're sitting there arguing with him, but you're behind the TV screen, and he's behind the camera. So he didn't have the person in front of him. Then they would sit there at the end on that chair, but there was really more discussion. It wasn't so much debate. So I think organically that may have started this whole tension, like, yo, what's up? Like, I think Jim Rome started that. I think the blueprint was there, but then Skip Bayless built on that, and boy, did he scale it. He would just sit there, and it really was All in the Family, if you guys know that show, where Skip Bayless basically said, like Archie Bunker, he was just sitting there like, I got my opinions, you're not going to change them. Good luck trying. And everybody would come in there carouseling when he first started. Then it turned into, okay, Stephen A., me and you, let's lock in. Good luck trying to move Archie off his point. Then it turned into Shannon Sharpe. trying to move Archie off his point. And sometimes you're sitting there, just like when you watch All in Family. Dog, that's so stupid. That's so crazy. That's so dumb. But he believed it, and it made it have credence. It gave it credence. Crazy.
And you don't want to strengthen his argument. My strongest point, I lead out with it. My next strongest, I go with that. Then I'm going to flip it over to him. But the thing is that you got to do when you're in a real debate format is that you got to keep your train of thought all the while keep it listening to what he says. So now I'm like, okay, I'm writing it down. I'm listening. Now, before I get to my point, I'm going to say, now, this is what you said. You said this right here.
Recap.
You said LeBron didn't play that well. Now, mind you, you do realize they scored 30 points in the fourth quarter, right? You do realize LeBron scored 16 points and he assisted on another 6. So that's 22 of the 30 points LeBron had a key hand in. But you say LeBron didn't play well?
I don't know about that math. He had 16 points and then he had 6 assists, right? Didn't he say that? And then that 12 points, so he had another, that's 28. I'm stopping. My bad.
I would say that's pretty good. If somebody
I got to be a nerd sometime.
got to get 22 or 30. So if another player, team scores 30 points, and another player has 22 of those, has a hand in 22 of those 30, did he play well?
All right, I got to get out of there, blah, blah, blah. I got to stop right now because this math is just not mathing. Let me stop. But in general, the real of this is, like, look, Stephen A. didn't bring him on to debate him. He brought him on for the bump. He brought him on because Shannon Sharpe is a brand. He brought him on to just say, let me add you to what I already got going. But the main ingredient's already here. Because Stephen A. got out of that debate format, really with Max Kellerman, you could say, like, all right, enough of this, just me locked into somebody. Let me have y'all come in. Because Stephen A. Smith's brand took a hit with Max Kellerman. Whether it was valid or not, people were saying Max sounds smarter. Max is smarter than everybody in the industry, so that's not, including me, easier heard than felt, right? You can hear that, you're like, all right, whatever. Then you're dealing with it, you're like, yo, this sucker just said what? So, and then it didn't mix, a little oil and water with Max. But the point is, Stephen A. Smith and the whole blacker than me and T.O. did. I think Stephen A. Smith said, no more. Skip. I should have stopped it with Skip because we started it, we should have stopped it. No more. Even though, Shannon, I know you just killed it at Undisputed and that format worked, I could strip this down and get rid of everybody else and it could be you and I. Like Rick James said, you and I. But no, I ain't doing that no more because I know what happens if I lose. That's why they say never argue with your spouse. They say don't argue with your spouse and try to win because all you're going to do is be with a loser. And I think that's what happened with Stephen A. He like, dog, losing these debates? Not on my show. No, sir. So then you talk about Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless summed up simple. Man, he's the architect of this, right? He took what Jim Rome was doing in his lab and said, let me take that and take it to the world at large, scale it. And he did. And then him and Shannon had fireworks. But it didn't also work because this is the problem. Skip Bayless wanted to treat his debates like the career he didn't have in sports, which is amazing, except if you're going with a Hall of Famer. It's okay when it go with Stephen A. because Stephen A., he had the one game at Winston-Salem and he had the one game at FIT, I don't know where, but he only played one game in college. And he been wrapped up. He been put that in a burrito saying, my career is over, behind me. Move on. Let's talk. So when it gets to that point of crunchy, Stephen A. like, man, I ain't fighting like that. This ain't me. I'm not invested like that. I'm in these words. You over here trying to beef it out. But Shannon was a Hall of Famer. So Shannon, like, you better slow down. You could go far, but you can't go this far. They're NFL player. Marcellus Wiley, I'm going to say my name like that in third person. He chilled out now. Chill out, Mr. All-Pro. Chill out, Pro Bowler. Chill out, dude. It's a Hall of Famer talking. You know what I mean? It's levels to this. And I think that Skip, because he was debating like he played, he was debating like he was a Hall of Famer on the field. He's a Hall of Fame debater. He kept going past those stop signs. And Shannon got sensitive because Shannon was like, dog, why you keep blowing by these stop signs? You see the sign that says stop. It's an octagon. It's red. That's what happened to all of them. I just broke that down, didn't I? Beat up in the comments. It's my itty bitty's birthday. Say happy birthday, Olivia. Love you, love. Wow. Oh, that wasn't enough? Y'all want some more? Well, check out the link in my bio. Hydration Situation Live. Blah, blah, blah. It's been a decade plus that I knew that this day was going to come.
Oh, this is not hyperbole here.
Because I believe it's the verse.
Time to hydrate. Hydration situation. So